baby. Oh, I'm trying to do a Jackson Mahomes special TikTok dance.
He dances to the same song every time. It's the same song and the same dance. What's that one?
Oh, yeah. When you go like this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only Jackson, a DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Bet just $1 on any NFL game this week. Get $100 in free bets when you use that promo code Brittany PHNX. They're just rent-free in my head today.
She's my queen.
I
love her so much.
I thought everything was over with this stuff, but my God, dude, the video you sent me this morning of her Instagram story, if you haven't seen it, head over to.
Do we have it?
I don't know if I want to promote this.
No, give it to me. I want it. Give it to me. Let's play it. Do we have it?
Oh no, I can get that. I can get that real fast.
Okay.
But if you haven't seen it, she's just so loud. I think that's the reason why I hate the family so much. Is they're both so loud.
She has a eloquent way of delivering a sentence, like very monotone, very neutral, and as the sentence continues and up until its conclusion, she will raise her voice and start screaming at the end of the sentence, and then continuing that scream long after the sentence is over. It is so obnoxious. I love it so much. Jackson Mahomes, he's a dumpster fire in his own right. He got I guess shamed by a local business in Kansas City because he gave a shitty review. So they came back and they're like, we survived this local business, this local restaurant. We've survived the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. We will survive your ego, Jackson Mahomes. Yes, I am all for that. I'm all for the chaos surrounding that family. But if they're a hot mess, Mahomes is a hot mess. You cannot convince me otherwise. I know they won last night, but that to me, that's the X factor right now as to Mahomes' struggles.
Yeah, 1 sec. I'm trying to.
Do you have it? You have the clip?
I'm trying to screen record it right now.
Great timing. Well, while Shane's doing that, can I go through my picks from yesterday? Because
go ahead.
You know, it's at the point now where I've been saying I've been over 60% all year. That's on par with professional bettors. I'm approaching 70% on the year. Yesterday was a complete bloodbath in Shane's face. I dominated yesterday. I had everything minus a first TD prop hit. Jacob, if you would, you have my props my bets from yesterday. So that was easy. Everybody and their grandma knew that the Chiefs minus 3.5. Yes, they won in overtime. Never a doubt. Chachak won. And then the next line of boom. I knew Mahomes was going to hit those yardages because the Chargers secondary is trash. Those were easy. Herbert hit those passing totals in under 3 quarters. That was super easy. And it's not documented, but on the show yesterday, I was adamant. I said, give me the over. Didn't make it into the graphics, so I will count that as well. So there's a 5 for 5 spot from your boy here at PHNX Bets Daily. And do we have the clip? Please play it.
Yeah, it's in bets. It's in bets. We will play it in a second. We'll go to my picks from yesterday while Jacob is downloading that. My picks weren't as great. The thing that saved me, however, is going so heavy on the Chiefs at 3.5. That under was such a lock until Mahomes just started Mahomesing and Tyreek Hill started Tyreek Hilling.
How can you ever bet the under when the Chiefs play? I know that a lot of unders have been hitting, so I don't fault you for that. But I could not, like my frame of mind trying to watch that team play an under is just absolutely insane. There's my queen. Here?
Oh yeah. We'll take us off the screen and play this. Oh, I want to see it.
Give it to me.
Okay.
For those of you at home, turn your volume up all the way as loud as it can go.
No, don't do that. If you're listening with headphones, I advise you to take them out and just relax on a beach somewhere and stay as far away as you can from this family. My friends and I were obsessed with Jackson Mahomes and what he was doing on TikTok before all this stuff happened.
She's here now.
Yeah.
She's over.
All right.
She's over.
We have the clip. Here we go. They're so loud.
So that must be Travis Kelce's girlfriend, the woman later in the video. But Brittany, I think her last name's Matthews. Patrick Mahomes' fiance. They're not married yet. I think they're engaged.
You can still run.
You sound like all of the internet. No, lock up that queen. She is on Twitter berating refs. If you haven't seen some of her tweets in the past, she's got a little Aisha Curry where she's like, "This shit is rigged against us." Hell yes. If I was an NFL player and my wife or fiance or girlfriend was not doing the exact same thing, I would drop her like a dime. I would move on and get somebody equally as obnoxious to do that. Could you just imagine like being in the suite next to them and she's just berating local fans for the Chargers, screaming at people. And then you've got the brother who's never accomplished a damn thing on the field before the Washington game, twerking and TikToking on the Sean Taylor number ceremony. They are just a freight train from hell. And here's the problem is the AFC is so bad that we're going to see more and more of this chaos all the way through the AFC playoffs. I love it so much.
Yeah, you could see it a little bit. Mahomes was a little bit broken last night. A couple really bad throws. The one to, I think, Mecole Hardman was the weirdest one where he just threw it in the dirt and he was wide open. Great play call. But yeah, Kelce was the X factor. When Kelce gets in space, it's bizarre how fast he can move. It looks like he's moving in slow motion. He caught that drag or slant that won them the game, turned upfield, and I knew nobody was catching him. So yeah, pretty weird game, division game, always a little strange. The Chargers are pretty much back, I would say. That running game is hard to stop.
Back to being what? Like a wild card team or
average,
just like
above average? Because they were below average before. So
they're back to blowing games. Like I literally when they were up like 21 to 28, like everybody knew they were going to lose that game, even at home, even with Mahomes playing like garbage. What do
you think about them going for it on fourth down so often?
It doesn't bother me. Kingsbury does the same thing. I think Brandon Staley's a good coach. Clearly, the Rams defense is not what it was last year, and Herbert's fantastic, and they've got a lot of great talent. I think they're a little bit top heavy. I think they need another off season. Again, remember, this is year 2 with Herbert in this rebuild. They had a top 6 pick just 2 years ago. So they're probably a little bit ahead of schedule. And I think they'll be able to load up this offseason. They get in the playoffs, which they should with Herbert and company. Like, that's a successful season. This is the year they're having the kind of season the Cardinals should have had last year, where you just get in the playoffs as a wild card, you get some experience, and we know how that ended for Arizona.
Yeah, well, let's stop reminiscing and start looking ahead to the juice we have. Johnny, why don't we see your picks for this weekend?
Yeah, if you're into money, this is probably the way you ought to roll. So we're going to put a big fat caveat on all these picks today. We don't know what the hell is going on with the NFL COVID restrictions. They could be working the entire schedule, reworking it as we speak. So Washington doesn't have a quarterback. Shane informed me they were +4 yesterday. They were now +12. I don't care who it is. Ron Rivera is too good a coach against Nick Sirianni, Eagles team. You know, I think the Eagles are going to win, but 12 points, I could see Rivera running the ball 50 times, playing good defense, that being a touchdown game in the fourth quarter. So that's number one. Number two, I like the Cardinals to blow out the Detroit Lions. Minus Rodney Hudson, they're going to have their full group of offensive players, of course, minus DeAndre Hopkins as well. But I think they blow out the Detroit Lions on the road, become the first team in NFL history to go 8-0 on the road, all wins by double digits. That's a gimme. And then the Broncos minus 2.5. Listen, as much as I think Vic Fangio is kind of a little bit over his head, and I don't love their quarterback situation, they're a team that they're going to make the playoffs. I thought they were dead and buried after that fast start, and they collapsed a little bit. Then they had that big win that you and I were watching together against Dallas. They play Cincinnati this week. I think, speaking of fraud, Zach Taylor, the coach of Cincinnati, he's a fraud. I don't buy them at all. I think the Broncos have just enough talent, kind of with just pushing it all together, sticks and glue, defensively, special teams, run game, Javonte Williams. I think they win at home, and I actually think they win fairly easily. And then I do like the over-under, the under in the New England-Indianapolis game, and I'm going to talk about that more later in my props, but 45.5. Can't you just see Bill Belichick just I don't think he's going to shut out Indianapolis, but I do think that the Patriots have one of, if not the best defense in the NFL. Mistakes are coming for Carson Wentz, and it's not like I think that, he can't still put up a respectable day or Jonathan Taylor can't get his, but I would be surprised if the Colts had more than 20 points at home against New England.
Yeah, I like the under in that game, but I actually think the Colts might win that game. It's a gut check for them. We're going to see tomorrow if the game holds. I'm sure that game I haven't heard much about COVID stuff going on, so I'm sure they play. I'm excited for that game. That's going to be that's going to tell you what the AFC looks like. I got the Colts -2.5, and that's just because, yes, the Patriots are hot as fuck right now. Yes, the Patriots defense is incredible, but the first test they had was the Bills. They haven't really played anybody in the last 7 weeks. The Colts are playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. I think Jonathan Taylor has a huge day. I don't think Carson Wentz gets it done through the air because of that defense, but I think the Colts cover that game. I also like the Raiders -3.5. Especially, you talked about this. What did you say? They're trying to get on a plane right now because the Browns are.
So I'm reading between the lines on Twitter. They're trying to rework the NFL schedule potentially on the fly. The Raiders haven't left yet for Cleveland. By all accounts, it looks like from a distance, the optics look like the Raiders are trying to rush to Cleveland in order for the NFL to not be able to reschedule that game. So the Raiders essentially either get what equates to a practice squad team in Cleveland or an outright forfeit, which I respect the hell out of that move. If that was the Cardinals, I'd want them to do the exact same thing. No one cares about how you get your victories at the end of the year as long as you get them. So we don't have confirmation yet, but love that mindset by a Raider team that's just in complete shambles.
Yeah, look, this game is at 2:30 tomorrow. The Raiders need this game. They need a win. The line's only at 3, and I know it's in Cleveland. Cleveland would probably be 3.5 point favorites, probably. I think that's what was the line that before all the COVID stuff. It was probably somewhere around there. Now
Can you even touch it now?
Raiders, it's still Raiders -3 on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
I can't believe that line's still available.
Yeah, but if they forfeit, I'm sure the game won't count. Your bet will be voided, and you'll get your money back because that's how the DraftKings Sportsbook does. My next pick is Bengals +3. We talked about this. Yeah, I understand your reasoning, but again, this week is just so up in the air. I don't really know what's going to happen. Bengals emotional loss last week against the Niners in a game that they would have won if they didn't muff 2 punts easily. I think they steamroll the Broncos if they come out and play their best football. But as you said, they might not come out and play their best football. I don't really like Zach Taylor that much. I'm with you on that. But I think this offense is just too talented. The defense is still playing pretty well. And then I also like the Texans +4.5 against, or now it's down to 3.5 while the line is moving. It's a Jaguars team that we know the story. We talked about this yesterday. Our boy Urban, he's working at Urban Outfitters. He's really sad. He's really sad. It's at home for the Jags, but this Texans team isn't playing terrible. I mean, they're not the worst team in the NFL anymore.
If you don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to play inspired football, this is betting 101, Shane. Get a manual out, look it up.
I understand.
When a coach that is hated gets fired.
I get what you're saying.
With all due respect to my buddy Herbs. Players play inspired. They play loose. They play fast.
Listen, this is where I'm at. Urban Meyer wasn't the problem for Trevor Lawrence. I just don't think Trevor Lawrence is good. I'm going to say that.
That very well may be the case. But I just think that there was so much toxicity and poison and vitriol within that organization that has since been removed. Urban Meyer literally left practice. What was that? Yesterday or 2 days ago? After he was fired, didn't tell anybody, left everybody in the dark, just rolled out of town, just cutting ties clean.
Jacob has something to say. Raised his hand like he's in a classroom.
Some breaking in the last, during your show, the NFL and the NFLPA are discussing postponing multiple games, not just the Raiders Browns.
Well, as we said, take all these picks.
Could be moving.
Take all these picks with a grain of salt. We don't really know what's going to happen, but the show must go on. Johnny, what are your props for this weekend?
I'll give you a prop. So I like Carson Wentz again, under 1.5 passing TDs. If you want to parlay that into a tasty nugget, I don't have it listed here, up on the interceptions, down on the touchdowns. I think that is pretty close to as much of a lock as you can get, especially against that New England secondary that's playing so well. And then right now, it looks like James Conner, Chase Edmonds are both going to play Sunday against Detroit. but Kyler Murray first TD plus 850. That's really dicey. Hey, Frank's here.
Frankie.
So that is something to watch for with the Cardinals now lacking DeAndre Hopkins. The fact that James Conner's workload might be a little bit less because he's been overworked lately. Here, Frank, do you want to be? So Frankie's going to be potentially on the show tonight.
Oh.
You want to say something? Smelling it? Okay. Did you finish your lunch?
Oh, that's great. No,
props.
I like that because plus 850 are good odds for a Kyler Murray quarterback team where he likes to scramble a lot. I agree, Frankie. Your daddy isn't the best at taking first touchdowns, even though he thinks
Didn't have to call poison control today.
I agree. All right, well let's go to my props for this weekend. I got a little Taysom Hill special. I think he's going to get dominated in their game. The 31.5 passing attempts is egregious to me. I just don't understand it. They're playing a Buccaneers team who, yes, their defensive front is one of the best in the NFL. And they probably won't straight up run a lot, but I bet they'd run outside of the tackles with him a good amount. I don't think he gets the 200 passing yards either. And then Michael Carter, first touchdown is plus 1,000. He's going to be their lead back for that Jets team come Sunday. I think that there's some good odds on that. The only reason why he has such big odds is because people are probably assuming that the Dolphins are going to roll and probably score first in that game. But he's going to carry the load for this Jets team, so I like that a lot. What was that, Frankie? Our DraftKings pick of the week? Is that what you just said?
Translating that into your picks are garbage.
Oh man, I thought she just said, "What about your DraftKings pick of the week?"
Do you have a DraftKings pick of the week
this week? Johnny, the jackpot, the Brittany jackpot.
Ooh, Packers minus 5.5. Even if Lamar Jackson plays, it's not going to go well. Nope, I don't want to eat that. Nope,
it's the wrong game.
Nope. What do you mean it's the wrong game?
No, it's 6.5 now.
It was 5.5 when
I know it was. I'm just saying now it's moved.
I still like the Packers to win. Yeah. This is a Baltimore team that is not playing well lately. And then you think about, okay, what do you want to say? This is a Baltimore team that's decimated by injuries. Lamar Jackson, it sounds like he's going to play, but he's banged up. And the Packers, as much as I hate to say it, in the landscape of the NFC, look like the best team right now. So they're going to have to go on the road. And I think they'll take care of business handily. I think this is a Baltimore team at the end of the year that we're going to say, hopefully not like the Cardinals, but they're limping to the finish line. They were 8-4 at one point, and I could conceivably see them finishing. I mean, I think they'll get a wild card spot, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. They only finish with 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is an AFC North division that's really, really close. The Ravens are up one game on the Browns and the Bengals, both at 7-6. The Ravens are at 8-5. I wouldn't be surprised if they shove Lamar out there, even though if he's not 100%. And I also wouldn't be surprised if he throws a pick or doesn't look good in the first quarter, and he gets taken out of the game almost immediately. So yeah, I like that pick a lot actually. But weirder things have happened in prime time in Baltimore, so you just never know. My DraftKings pick of the week, the Dieffenbach. This was a really hard time deciding.
What is that graphic?
Who's in the safe right there? Corvette, boom, boom, boom. It's Jackson Mahomes, and he's giving me the Falcons +9. Give me the Falcons +9 all day against the 49ers. That's too many points for Jimmy G to cover. I think they get out to a 7-0 lead early, and then they run the ball too much because they don't trust Jimmy G. Wow, she hates this pick.
Frank, you need to go finish your lunch. Where's your smoothie?
Yeah, so I'm taking that +9. It was at 9.5 earlier. Now it's back down to 9. I would get that while you can. But again, you just don't know what's going to happen. So honestly, if I were you, America, I would probably wait on most of these spreads, except for the maybe the Patriots game, the under, and the Browns game if they play tomorrow. But I don't know if they will. You will get your money back, worst thing, but I would bet on the Raiders. Other than that, I would wait and just see what happens. More people could come into protocol. Our picks could change. You just don't know. But we will keep you updated on Twitter. If you want to follow us there, you can follow me at Shane Dief. Wow, my S and D are capitalized for the first time, and I hate it. It looks terrible. You can follow Johnny at Johnny Venerable. You can follow Frankie at Frankie Smells. You can follow PHNX Daily Bets at PHNX_bets.
Hurry home soon, honey.
don't forget to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code PHNX when you sign up. Bet just $1 on any NFL game. Get $100 in free bets if either team scores a point this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's safe, it's secure, it's reliable. You don't have to just take our picks. You can also do same game parlays, do a bunch of fun stuff. That's 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. Johnny will be on the Cardinals show. So will Frankie probably. Who knows? That's at 5:30, I believe. You can also catch me on the ASU show at 4 o'clock right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Don't forget to follow PHNX_sports across all socials. Please leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Leave a review if you're listening on audio. If you're listening on audio, you need to come see this baby. Appreciate you guys for joining us as always, and we'll be back on Monday. Peace.